And good morning. We have a Tuesday. We have July 26, 2022. We have the proper date in the thing today. And we have things you might have heard coming up to you right here, right now, as I'm doing this. It's actually live at 5:50 a.m. Central Time here in Little Rock, Arkansas. Whether you're watching this with me as we do this yamble, 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 or in the future, whenever the future is, in 20 minutes, an hour, a day. Thank you so much for joining us for this broadcast. We are slowly becoming just understanding that this is not a news flash, this is a newscast, and we do this newscast of news stories that you probably missed out on the wide slathering of things going on. Now that things aren't so much coronavirus all the time and Donald Trump and insurrection all the time, they are starting to see more of the newscast doing more lighter stuff, more offbeat stuff, more bits and piece stuff. So you see more of that back into your regular newscast. We do that every single day. We don't necessarily stick to the big stories unless you tell us to, because we let you vet out the stories we're going to talk about here right now. 8 stories today from the prior day, from Monday into early this morning, to give to you to talk about in your coffee talk and your water cooler talk going forward. We are your tertiary news source, your news side piece, if you will, to give you all these little things to talk about that other people may have missed when they were just stuck staring into Anderson Cooper's deep blue eyes. So let's get into the stories today. We'll explain how the whole feeds things work towards the end of the newscast part when they get to the fun stuff. Story number 1 today is University of Michigan Medical School walkout. Students walk out on Kristin Collier at initiation ceremony. Now, the University of Michigan's medical school had many of the students basically protesting the nomination, the hiring of this pro-life doctor. And when she gave her initiation ceremony, she gave her speech, many of the students literally walked out of the ceremony. They were not happy about this doctor. There's a lot of going on in this situation, so you really need to read this story and go deeper into that to see what's going on. This is something we can't gloss over in 2-3 minutes. But this was a serious big deal. Now, for people who don't think that the students don't have any power, this is, of course, proof that that they do. For people who think that students can't have a say in what's going on, this is, of course, proof that they do. Now, whether this is going to be a good trend or a good thing, we shall see. But we do know there, read deeper into the story. What the basic is, Michigan's medical school hired a pro-life doctor to run it, and the students did not like her, or did not like her politics. We'll talk about not liking people in politics a bit later in the program, if you will. Japan's Sakurajima volcano erupts, prompting officials to issue highest alert. This volcano has been one of the most active volcanoes basically in the world, definitely over in Japan and in Asia. And after just doing smoke for quite some time, it decided to put on a grill show and spit out some lava a couple days ago. High alert for some towns, evacuations of some smaller towns nearby this station. Folks are more or less okay, nothing serious. We don't have a major eruption going on, but right now we do have people keeping eyes on that volcano, on that issue. Next story we have is this one. Brooklyn pastor says he and wife were robbed of more than $1 million of jewelry while preaching. So let's talk about this dude. His name is Lamar Miller-Whitehead. He goes by Bishop Miller-Whitehead, if you will, a pastor of a church in Brooklyn who's known for wearing lots of flashy stuff while on his podium, on his platform, on his in his dais, doing his thing. Apparently some folks just ran into church this weekend with guns while he was preaching, said, take off your rings, take off your Rolex, took all the brother stuff, and he said, damn, what's next? Well, that's not exactly what happened. That's, of course, from Regulate. But, yeah, basically he got robbed while on stage, while preaching, of all the stuff he wears. Now, he is known for wearing lots and lots of serious bling in his life, especially in his performances. I call them performances because, it's everything on stage and cameras and performance. He's known for wearing all this stuff, and so that's kind of his shtick. Apparently because it's pretty easy to find him on Sundays preaching. The live stream had the people come in and rob him live. Now, you've seen plenty of pictures of this online of it happening, and he is saying that it's a travesty. We'll see what's going to happen to the pastor. Whether, not saying that this is a way to make him famous, but whether it's going to make him a bit more bigger on the national stage of big-time pastors. I always wonder about those guys. That's just me. Boeing union workers vote to strike at 3 St. Louis area manufacturing facilities that make U.S. military jets. This is going to happen today. Planning on negotiations for some benefits and wages in the St. Louis area has three different manufacturing sites in the city area deciding they may go on strike today. This is one we'll definitely hear about if it happens. I'm not sure if it doesn't happen, whether it will go away. This is a smaller story. It took me a while to find. I was kind of digging in business tropes when I found this one, but this is one that once I got a little bit of detail on it, it's serious things. Pro-union, anti-union, pro-people, anti-union, whatever. Check out the link in the description to see more about the story. But we could have a strike in St. Louis that could affect military jets, military equipment going forward. It could cause a big issue. It might be a small blip. We'll see how it does, especially if it's just, a day or so. That's usually not very much. But if this goes on a week or so, we're going to find people actually talking about this. We're going to find this may be an issue. Supply chain, down the line. 8 XFL teams include 3 Texas, none in California and New York. That's the deal. The 8 teams for the inaugural, uninaugural, second inaugural, whatever inaugural season of the XFL, number XFL 3.0, I guess, have been announced. 3 in Dallas. Dallas loves its fake football. Dallas, Arlington, because nobody actually plays in Dallas. Houston and San Antonio. Also Las Vegas, not Angeles. Orlando, St. Louis, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. Those are your 8 teams announced for the season. Starting in February, you're going to see 3 teams playing in Texas, which I guess makes it pretty cool to make it regional, make it easy to get back and forth with all the teams there. None of the teams all the way west as far, well, there's Seattle, so there you go. That ruins all the way west part. But not teams in Los Angeles and not teams sparkling over the west coast. So most of the teams are basically middle, southish, and east, so they can get around there. That should be kind of cool. We'll see how that works out. XFL, we're looking for this to be actually successful. We're looking for this to actually work out as a well thing because more football is not a bad thing. The season that we had of the not the AAFL, the last fake football thing we had that just wrapped up, it was pretty good, although ratings did wane in the seasons, but it was pretty good football and it lasted a full season as opposed to the last 2 summers where we've had extra football that did not last. Also, NFL Europe apparently still exists. They should put more of that. I tried to put the 2 Japan stories on one slide, but ended up saving the old one and pulling on the old version. So this is a second Japan issue. Japan detects first monkeypox case. We wanted to panic everybody about Japan in one fell swoop. Unfortunately, we spread it between story number 3 and number 7. So Japan now has the monkeypox. Monkeypox is here. It's kind of jokey to say it's all going to kill us, but we joked about that with coronavirus. It actually is not a joke. Monkeypox is going to be a serious thing. Will it be as serious or just a counter serious as coronavirus has been, or even the flu, or even SARS, or even the avian flu, or all these other things we've had? We shall see. Right now, we know the response to COVID-19 has been sort of, as we Americans do, just sort of like an at this point, because we know we're kind of over it, even though it's not over at us. Monkeypox is now here. What it does, it's like chickenpox, extremely painful. It kind of works in the genital areas. You don't want to have it. Let's just go with that. Finally, Joni Mitchell gives her first full live performance since 2002. Let me give you some details on this. I'm going to turn to the story. We pulled this from The Guardian. Now, of course, she had a brain aneurysm back in 2013. And so she hasn't done much of anything. 2015. So she hasn't done much of anything performance-wise in that case. But she has not performed since 2002, believe it or not. She performed at the Newport Folk Festival with Brandi Carlile. She did all the hits. She had not performed at that festival since like the 60s, 69, I think, and had not did a full performance since being at the Wiltern in Los Angeles on November 13th, 2002. At last time she was at the Newport Festival, she played alongside Arlo Guthrie and the Everly Brothers. So there's some history for you there, one. But one of my favorite singers, love me some Joni Mitchell, love me some Big Yellow Taxi. So glad that she's doing a little bit. She has turned this year 78 years old. This is a national treasure that we will lose sooner than we want to. So let's love up on some Joni Mitchell as much as we can right now. Remember, Joni Mitchell never lies. Don't you ever say she does. Our teaser story for tomorrow, tomorrow, you may talk about this tomorrow if we see what happens. Raising Cane's owner purchases 50,000 Mega Millions lottery tickets for his employees at $2 a ticket. Assuming he didn't get the multiplier, that is of course $100,000. Add another 50,000, 150 if you got the multiplier, because maybe they win some little stuff. He will split the winnings of these tickets with his employees. So if they pull the Mega Millions jackpot, which is like 7 or 80 million, something like that, 780, some number where that at, he will split that between all of his employees. He bought enough tickets to cover all the employees of Raising Cane's across the board. That's about $18,000 per employee if you split it up with the lump sum. That's what they believe. Will he pay their taxes? Who knows? We care. Who knows? But we'll see how this works out. And we'll see if anybody wins, because as I say often when I go to buy my ticket today, somebody's going to win. It's nobody you know, and it's definitely not you. But somebody's eventually going to win this thing because it happens. So don't knock the process. Just don't expect them to pocket that money, because you're not going to win. And not because I'm going to win, because I'm not going to win. But buying $50,000 worth of tickets, or actually $100,000, 50,000 tickets, that does spread your chances across, but it still is, 118 million to 1. So you still have that to play with. But play with real money that you can actually put into your hands and make real investments with Robinhood. Now, Robinhood is an investment app and is a platform that allows you to invest in stocks, bonds, and crypto. Remember, stocks, bonds, and cryptos can lose money. They don't always go up. Here's a tip for you folks. They don't always go up. One more time with feeling, they don't always go up. But now is a great time while things are kind of low to get into the system, buy a couple things that you know, love, and things will be around for a while, and see how it works. Understand the process. Watch things go up and down. Watch the analysts. Watch what's going on. They give you analytics. They give you news coverage. They give you access to a whole bunch of great stuff, including, if you're into crypto right now, which no one is, access to many of the newer coins that you can actually get a wallet and trade and buy stuff with. You can get your crypto and buy it directly from Robinhood. They also have a savings account that earns you extra into your savings. So if you're not saving anything, do that. They have a way for you to direct deposit your money into Robinhood as your banking app. You can do that. I wouldn't suggest that, but hey, put a little money there for your investing. I put aside a little chunk every so often, like twice a month, little bits in there for my paycheck. It's not direct deposit. It comes out of my bank account, auto draft. And then at the end of the month, I look at my investments and I put in my things for the month. It's chump change. It's what's going on. Here's the reality. My investments are down still down about 27%, not quite 30%, because we've had a good couple of weeks for the year. For the last couple of weeks, I'm actually up about maybe 5-6% because of things going up. Like I said, this is not my life savings. This is me doing my small investing, my chat stuff for investing in business. So it's there. Check it out yourself at thisisconversationproject.com/Robinhood. This is conversationproject.com/Robinhood. And of course, they'll give you a free stock just for signing up. Now let's get on to the websites of note. Starting off with thisisconversationproject.com, which I say many times in this broadcast. That is our main website, the home of the Conversation Project, and the placing of things you might not have heard. We are giving you as more things as possible. We're trying to make things happen. It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy couple of months. It's a real crazy time right now. As I told you, there's a lot of physical things happening. But we are proud of what we're doing there. Check it out. Check out the website. Find what you like out there. And if you're missing some things, you can subscribe to our newsletter, which will give you the listing of the stories every single morning, about 6:20 or so. We're setting up and presetting it. And, of course, a link to the video so you can watch the video in the future as well. Facebook and Twitter host our feeds. We put our stories every 50 minutes on Facebook and Twitter, I should say. We'll get to YouTube in a second. This is conversationproject.com. That's the main website. This is Conversation Project is the actual name for our Facebook page. And th_conversation, our link for Twitter. Follow us there and like, love, hate, ignore. Well, don't ignore because that doesn't do it. But share. Do the little angry guy. Read the stories. Get into the stories. And as you engage in stories, they get voted up. Tuesday through Friday, we give you stories from top 15 linked out that you said were conversations. We had a lot of stories in the day. It was somehow we pushed in some extra. Maybe I pushed some extra. We had about 34 stories to count from in this time from yesterday morning to this morning. And so we picked the top 13, went for top 13, picked 8 of them that we think were conversational and great stories, and hopefully you enjoy. Let us know in the comments as well. TikTok at The Conversation Project, and YouTube, youtube.com/The Conversation Project. Make sure you follow us on the YouTube page. Like us, well, there you subscribe, of course. Like some videos, and make sure you hit notifications so that you do get the notification at 5:50 that we are live. Today, well, 5:52. We had a glitch in the matrix and could not set the time properly, so we set it ahead. It said 6 o'clock, but we fired off on time. You get the point on that one. Let's talk about some other things for today. Happy birthday is going out to Mick Jagger, so get the moves out. 79 years old today. It's weird because you would think these guys are actually like 100 years old. The Rolling Stones, only in their right at 80s. It's amazing. They seem like been around forever. Also been around forever, and I think they actually dated Helen Mirren, 77 years old today. That sassy old broad is still kicking it and making people laugh, making people cry, doing her thing. Congratulations, Helen Mirren, for hitting 77 turns around this sun. Jason Statham, not quite there, but pretty darn close and pretty darn good, hitting 55 years old on today. Today is Coffee Milkshake Day. So here you go. If you don't like coffee, you don't like milkshakes, you may be un-American. You may be non-human, if you will. There's nothing better than mixing coffee and a milkshake. So go get you one of them today. Get 2, get 5, because coffee milkshakes are awesome. So, a survey of dog owners found out that half respondents say that they always or often struggle to get their dog to eat their meals. That's about 49%. With a similar percentage admitting they often have to add things to their dog's food to get them to eat it, about 48%. Now, I am not your fan of fur babies. I do not call dogs your children. They're not. People who love their dogs extra are great, but people who treat their dogs as if they're actually going to leave the house, go to college, and come back and have raise enough money to fund their retirement. No. However, I think this was a quirky survey, and so check on that one. So it does show that just as finicky as your kids are eating, trust me, my 10-year-old will only eat chicken nuggets and ramen noodles. Your dogs can be the same way. What do you say? We did it. Tuesday, July 26th version of, or 2022 version to be exact, of things you might have heard. What do you think? What did you hear? What did you not hear? What stories did we put out there that you thought were going to make it that didn't come in there? What stories did you not see us talk about that you wish we would have posted out there because maybe we didn't post it? Maybe you don't know. And let us know in the comments how well we're doing or how well we're not doing. As we're saying, next few weeks we are literally physically moving locations. So there's a lot of things happening. The lights are a little less because the lights I had aren't hung anymore. There's we've had some equipment we've moved, so some things like that have happened. But we are going to keep on pushing to get this thing out, unless there's some serious issues in the matrix that keep things going. We're going to give you something every single morning, every single day to get you through your coffee talk so you can get ready. We are your new side piece, and trust me, we're going to be there for you. In the meantime, stay hydrated, stay on task, and stay limber. We need you around to do all the great things you're meant here to do. We're already posting stories, so every 50 minutes or so, just check your news feed, check what's going on, check your feed, Facebook, and see what we're doing, and see if there's a new story that is interesting to you so you can put it up into the talk that we may have tomorrow morning on things you might have heard. Let's wrap this thing up for today. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.